So, the LG V40. Hey there, friends on YouTube. My name is Jason, sometimes known as the JTL. This is Painfully Honest Tech. Tech so honest it hurts. I'm back with you once again, just like always. Thank you so much for being here. If this is your first time here, then thank you so much for stopping by. If you've been here before, then thank you for coming back. Let's talk LG V40. Now, I was not fortunate enough to be able to go to New York to the unveiling event, but I have purchased every V-Series phone from LG since it was first introduced in the V10. V20, V30, I liked them all. I loved them all, to tell you the truth. I thought, for me as an audio guy, those phones were what I was looking for in a phone. Quad DAC, 3.5 millimeter headphone jack, the whole deal. All of that was just for me, and the cameras were always incredible. There was always just sort of like, the V series was always just like right there. So when I heard about the V40, I first was waiting to hear about it a lot earlier, and then I was waiting to hear about it at all, and suddenly then here it is. Let's take a quick look at the specs so we know what we're talking about. We got a 6.4-inch OLED screen. It's 1440p. We've got Snapdragon 845, just like all the phones from this year. We've got 6 gigabytes of RAM, 64 gigabytes of storage. We've got micro SD support. And the cameras, there are five cameras on this device, and it's kind of crazy. So you got a 12 megapixel, a 16 megapixel, another 12 megapixel, and on the front you got 8 megapixel and 5 megapixel, and they all do different things. There's wide angle on both the front and the back, and all kinds of crazy stuff, which if I had the phone, I would show you, and maybe I'll get the phone and I will show you then. But just know that there are 5 cameras, and they are meant to do a lot. This is a content creator's phone. That's who this phone is geared towards. That's who I am. So perhaps the LG V40 would be a great phone for me. But, some other specs that we've got going on. Boombox speakers, 32-bit quad DAC, 3.5 millimeter headphone jack. 3,300 milliamp hour battery, which is kind of low for a phone this size, so I'm not sure that that's going to be good. LG has never been good with the battery life on their phones, in my experience. IP68 water resistance. It's got Quick Charge 3.0. Everything on paper sounds good about the LG V40. It's once you get off this paper and get onto another paper that problems start. LG has been struggling over the last several years to gain any sort of market share. They kind of had it going there for a while, and then with the G4, they had boot loop issues. They haven't ever really recovered from that. So LG has needed to do some things in order to get their visibility in the marketplace firmed up just a little bit more. The V30 was a great phone. It did not catch on in the way that they wanted it to. The G7, by all accounts, a great phone, did not connect with people the way that LG was hoping it would. Now, the V40 feels like the last at-bat for LG to make some kind of splash in the smartphone market and be a viable player for people's cash. In order to do that, I said all the way back last year that LG was going to have to be somewhat aggressive with their design, somewhat aggressive with their price. And it looks very much similar to the V30 last year, but the price is where we're going to fall down. Unfortunately, where I thought that LG had to kind of come in the $700, maybe $750 range, $800 at the top, to even get anybody to consider buying this phone over the Note 9 or any of the iPhones or anything like that, LG has put the price for this phone at $900, which to me is just a complete non-starter. Even for somebody like myself who really enjoys these V-Series phones, I cannot see the practicality of paying that kind of money. The V-Series has always been great in terms of specs. There have always been little quirks here and there. And from all reports that I've read and heard so far, that's the same. LG is always just that close to putting it over the top, and then they just don't get there. It seems like perhaps the V40 is just that once again, and that's not going to be good enough for LG to remain any kind of player in this market. So the phone's going to come out, Very few people are going to buy it. Maybe it'll become discounted within, a couple of months. And will this be the last time we see LG put out a major smartphone release? I can't see where they're going to come back. This was the year where they had to put something strong together so they could come back and they could compete, and they haven't done it. So I think LG might be done. The quad DAC, the 3.5 millimeter headphone jack, the camera array, the whole deal, 5 cameras on one phone. It sounds fantastic, but unfortunately, the folks over at LG weren't willing to take a hit on price and thought maybe they could get away with $900, and they're not going to be able to. So this may be sayonara to LG, for better or worse. I hope it's not. I hope they figure out a way to make these phones that are actually very good phones at a price point where people might consider buying them. They're not doing it. So that's really disappointing. Have you ever used an LG phone? Are you a big fan of the V series or the G series? The V series could be the perfect phone for a lot of people. It could be one of my daily driver phones, but unfortunately, I don't think I'm even going to be able to grab a hold of one this year to test it out, because I've just spent $1,200 and $999 on phones, both phones of which I'm keeping. So there's no room in my stable for the LG V40. If I'm lucky, maybe I'll get to check it out and I'll let you folks know what it is that I think. Let me know what you think down in the comments. I'm looking forward to hearing what you folks have to say. I really do appreciate it. Thank you so much for being here. If it was your first time and you want to come on back again, then go ahead and press the subscribe button. Go ahead and press the bell notification icon. You can share this video out so other people might want to watch it. And, hit the like button if in fact you do like the video. Thanks so much for being here. Again, my name is Jason, sometimes known as the JTL. This is Painfully Honest Tech. So honest it hurts. Until the next time, I'm out.